And then we have here in our side, MP, Mr. Darren. How are you, Darren?
Fabulous. What a beautiful event.
Yeah.
So everything's so colorful. It looks great.
So what are you expecting here right now in the Filipino Heritage Month of 2024? Have you been here before?
No. So we never really had a large Filipino business community in my riding of Darren Harbor until recently.
Yes.
And now I find myself going to grand openings on a regular basis at bakeries and people that do tax returns.
Wow,
and now just a week and a half ago to an amazing restaurant in my neighborhood called Chicken Chill, where they got these amazing chicken sandwiches and sweet Filipino spaghetti with hot dogs. Little cut up hot dogs. Anyway, the lineup was 50, 60 people deep, so it's really popular.
Have you tried the Jollibees? What's one of the famous in the Philippines also?
But that's the spaghetti.
It's a bit of spaghetti and chicken joy.
No, then I haven't.
Yeah, wow.
I'm going back again next week.
Yeah, you should try it. There's in the Mississauga, Hartsville, this, and then Scarborough, Toronto. You should try it. It's really good.
Okay. I will try it. I've been impressed so far.
Yeah. So you are NP in the New Brunswick, right?
No, Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah, Dartmouth, Cole Harbour, and Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. So what are those Filipino expecting there when people are going to? What are those tourist spots we can?
Oh my goodness. When you come to visit Nova Scotia, there is so much to see.
Yeah.
You need to obviously go to Point Pleasant Park. You need to go to Halifax Commons. You need to go to Dartmouth Commons. Peggy's Cove is amazing. You got to stay off the wet rocks because people slide into the ocean. Come to Peggy's Cove. But there's so much. There's just so much to do in Nova Scotia. If you have more time, drive through Cape Breton and go up around the Cabot Trail. You're on the top of a mountain looking down, and the highway's on the outside edge. It's amazing. If you go in the fall, all the leaves start to turn red. It's so beautiful.
What about the weather?
I'd say it's pretty similar. This week will be hotter here than it is at home. We're in the middle of a heat wave here, but it's about the same. It's about the same. We have beautiful summers.
Wow, that's good. Have you tried any Filipino dishes?
I've tried the restaurant Chicken Chill. That's 2 days. I gotta go to the third. But I tried the baked goods as well at a bakery in Halifax, which was amazing. They were kept filling my pockets, giving me all kinds of baked goods, stuff in my pockets with stuff, and the place was full, packed. And I met the Consul General for the Philippines there. She was there. It was amazing.
Wow. Because, in the Philippines, most of the Filipino people, they are trying to challenge most of the Indonesian people that eat a balot. Have you heard the balot? Oh, that's like a exotic food. It's an egg.
It's an egg?
Yeah, it's an egg, boiled egg. But not ordinary boiled egg.
I had a boiled egg today for lunch.
This is totally different. But anyway, thank you so much, Darren, for your time.
You're very welcome.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you. Take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ang bayan kong Pilipinas, lupain ng ginto bulaklak, pag-ibig sa kanyang palad, nangalay ng ganda at dilag.
Earlier, Mr. Marco Bedricino, MP Brian Mays, Senator Gigi Osler, and the many MPs and friends of the Philippines. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Good evening to everyone. I am honored to stand before you again on Parliament Hill in celebration of Filipino Heritage Month, which also coincides with the 126th anniversary of the proclamation of Philippine independence, and this year, the 75th anniversary of the establishment of bilateral relations between the Philippines and Canada. I express my appreciation to the members of Parliament who unanimously supported MP Salma Sahid's motion recognizing June as Filipino Heritage Month.
Son, his journey through politics, becoming a member of parliament, becoming a parliamentary secretary, becoming a minister, and then creating those bridges to the next generation, to all of you. And if you are a member of the Filipino intern crew, please put your hand up. Give it up for all of the interns who are working on the Hill. The next brightest generation, look, they're working at the back right there. There he is. La Sénateur, pour tes paroles, pour votre travail, votre dévouement pour la communauté philippine, pour la communauté canadienne. It is a great pleasure to join my co-MC up to the stage and the sponsor of the Filipino Heritage Month, which is June.
Mabuhay everybody! What a great evening to be among so many friends. I would really like to thank all of you for coming all the way from different parts of the country to celebrate the Filipino Heritage Month.
Beautiful, and I have to say, the crowd is looking bunga.
We've got Wilson, we've got Anita, we've got Ben, we've got Anju. What an amazing team! Okay, I did that all in one breath. Maintenant, Salma.
Thank you, Marco. I hope everyone enjoyed the performance. Wasn't it great? Let's give them a big hand. Now I would like to introduce one of my good friend and colleague. I think everyone in this room knows him well because he's already Filipino also. I would really like to welcome MP Kevin Lemos, Member of Parliament from Winnipeg North.
Mabuhay! I tell you, what a pleasure it is to be able to walk into a room and see all these smiling faces. And you know, in the big part, it's Selma recognized the importance of our Filipino-Canadian heritage.
Wow, okay. Mabuhay, everybody! Wow, thank you so much. You know, I'm looking across this room and I believe I've invited every single one of you. And all of you showed up. And I'm truly grateful for you all being here. Bonjour tout le monde. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are gathered on this beautiful, traditional, and unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. It is so great to join you all today for my favorite event on Parliament Hill to celebrate Filipino Heritage Month! Huge responsibility that I take seriously. And what have we done to do this? We've been there to support Filipino Canadians. You've already heard how important foreign credentials is. We continue to invest in foreign credentials. And then of course, when we, between our Canada, Philippines, we invested $28 million with projects like Plan International Canada to make sure we're supporting Darren. Earlier today, you saw a beautiful play hearing the story of someone that was negatively impacted by the impacts of climate change. We will continue to be there to support them. This investment will continue to support Filipinos across our country and across in the Philippines as well. I had the opportunity to visit back home, and this year I'll be able to visit next month back home as well. We also opened an immigration processing center in Manila. This new processing center is located right in the Canada's embassy in Manila and will help process visas. We also introduced ETAs for the Filipino-Canadian community, and 80,000 Filipinos since the time we launched have been able to travel back and forth with a snap of the finger, which is amazing. And all I can say is our budget, I don't know, is anyone from BC here? Yes, we have some BC folks. You saw in our budget our commitment to invest in a Filipino cultural center out in BC. So I want to shout out to them and our continued investments to support the Filipino-Canadian community. And Minister Miller will be here shortly to announce what we've done for the caregivers, so I don't want to give away all of that. So as we continue to celebrate, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to be here, Makababayans who traveled all across the country. And I just, can you raise your hands if this is your first time on Parliament Hill? Yes, I want you to take it all in. This today is for all of us. We, tayo, ang tayo lahat. So thank you you so much for being here. Maraming salamat. And I just want to say, there's someone really special who you've all been waiting for. Without this individual, I would not be standing in front of all of you, not just as an MP, but as a cabinet minister represent all businesses, small businesses across this country. So I just want to warmly welcome. Let's make sure we give them all a round of applause, please. Welcome our Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Justin Trudeau.
Thank you, Richie, for that introduction and for all the work you do to represent the people of Mississauga, Streetsville, Filipino Canadians, and indeed all Canadians. It's great to be joined by so many members of our caucus. Don't any of you have other work to do other than celebrate with all sorts of friends tonight? Look at this, my entire team has come out tonight, especially and including Minister Miller, a number of ministers, but also Brian May, who's chair of the Filipino Liberal Caucus. Brian has been great at stepping up for the community. Thank you so much for all your leadership, Brian. Specific shout out to Selma and Marco, the amazing MCs this evening. Thank you so much, guys. Selma, we're actually here in part because of you, because it was your motion back in 2018 that helped formally recognize June as Filipino Heritage Month in Canada. Je veux aussi, bien sûr, saluer l'ambassadrice de la République philippine, Maria Andrelita S. Austria. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Paktikan and Senator Osler, whose steadfast advocacy for Filipino communities continue to inspire us all. Happy Filipino Heritage Month! On est déjà au 6e anniversaire du mois du patrimoine philippin qui célèbre votre histoire et votre culture. But we're not just here to celebrate Filipino culture and heritage, because every Filipino Heritage Month, we're actually also celebrating an integral and important part of Canadian heritage, Canadian identity, because that's what you bring to this country. This year, we're marking 75 years of diplomatic relations between Canada and the Philippines, with a relationship strengthened by our Indo-Pacific strategy that builds on economic cooperation and especially a deep-rooted relationship between our two peoples. And actually, this relationship will only get stronger. Last year, I invited Bong Bong to come visit Canada. So the President Marcos is looking forward to visiting. We're looking forward to hosting him sometime in the future. The Filipino community is one of the fastest growing communities in Canada, with a diaspora nearly 1 million people strong. I know people don't like to talk about the pandemic anymore, but I want you to know that we remember the incredible sacrifices so many of this community made, stepping up for people in the most difficult and vulnerable moments. It really goes to the amount of heart and dedication in this community. You were there for your fellow Canadians as volunteers, as nurses, as caregivers, as doctors, as community leaders, as small business owners, in all the different ways Canadians were there for each other. Filipino Canadians were leading the way. Filipino Canadians are one of the communities most impacted, however, by barriers to foreign credential recognition. If you're moving to Canada with previous nursing or healthcare expertise, we've seen far too many cases where you're not allowed to practice unless you go back to school, often having to balance raising kids and family, school and work. Well, we're changing. We're removing barriers to foreign credential recognition and cutting licensing red tape. That means when you land in Canada, you can have the credentials to practice so you can join the workforce. that will provide home care workers with permanent residence on arrival in Canada. This is all part of our government's work to make life better and fairer for every generation. We're building more homes faster with an incredible level of ambition, where we're pushing municipalities and provinces and regions right across the country to build more homes. We're investing in healthcare and making insulin and diabetes medications free. On a investi dans l'innovation et dans l'intelligence artificielle pour créer des bons emplois. We're creating diverse and inclusive spaces, including through our renewed anti-racism strategy. And we're helping the Filipino community share your own stories, including with the new Filipino Cultural Center in British Columbia. Hard work, my friends. These are values that Canadians share, but they're also the values that Filipino Canadians exemplify each and every single day. So as we mark Filipino Heritage Month, let's keep working together to make sure all Canadians have fewer barriers, more opportunities, and that there is fairness for every generation. Merci tout le monde.